Hello, we are talking today with His Excellency Sali Berisha, the former President and Prime Minister of Albania, at the same time the leader of the largest opposition party in his country, and the one who shook both Romania and Albania, revealing a few days ago from the balcony to his house, where he is illegally arrested at home. Well, Mr. Berisha revealed an absolutely incredible document, the consulting contract of Security General Florian Kolda with the current Prime Minister of Albania, Edi Rama. Before we get into the subject, and I want to thank you very much, Mr. Berisha, for this honor, I want to ask you why the prosecutor's office refuses to make the indictment public in your case. Is it because the accusations against you are a joke? Are you a victim of political and judicial abuse?
It is totally a pure political process. After 4-year investigations based on a false file presented by then chairman of Socialist Parliamentary Group ordered by Edi Rama, by Tauland Bala, ordered by Edi Rama, about a process of recognition, restitution of confiscated land from former communist regime and the buying of assets constructed upon this land respecting fully the laws. This file says that the land was expropriated by Italians during the World War II, and then the owners have nothing to do with it. Whereas the Gazeta Zyrtar, official Gazeta Zyrtar, official Gazeta of that time show clear crystal that the land of that territory was not expropriated by the regime. The opposite is true. It was requisited for 6 months and then an additional 6 months and nothing else. This land belonged to 300 owners. One of these owners was my son-in-law, Professor Jan Arber Maltesi. And a process which was started in 1995 and ended in 2009. There are every law respected. There is not any employee or official from whatever government, left or right, under indictment or penalization about this privatization process, because each of them observed strictly the law. The sole person accused for abusing is Sali Berisha, which has not any signature in any stage of this process, because it went through the law and not through governmental decisions. It's Berisha and it's my son-in-law, which took from their ancestor, 410 meters square land. This is the entire file. And by the order of Edi Rama, I am put under house arrest, although there is not a single fact or document to witness that there have been the smallest violation of the law.
Okay, but Mr. President, in my opinion, anyone who is in opposition with Edi Rama can be just arrested for no reason. Is this the justice in Albania?
It's fully controlled by Edi Rama. George Soros, which is the architect of justice reform, put the justice system under total control of Edi Rama and its government. So the so-called independent justice, it's a branch of executive in Albania. De facto is a branch of executive which apply or take orders directly from Rama.
History is funny. I can compare your mandate as a prime minister with Edi Rama, which is now the actual prime minister. But I want you to be honest and objective and tell me, what do you think are the most harmful actions of Mr. Edi Rama for Albania since he became prime minister?
The narco state, sir. Edi Rama substituted the rule of law state country with a narco state. If you check in international media, including official books of serious institutions, they show that Albania is a narco state. How did this come? How did this happen? Edi Rama once came in power, started direct connections with Colombia. And in a village 30 kilometers from Tirana was installed the largest by far cocaine factory in Balkans and more. A group composed by Albanians and Colombians were running this facility, exporting huge quantities in Germany and elsewhere. When Germans found the network, they brought documents. What resulted? Resulted that one of the bosses of the group was Olsi Rama, the brother of Edi Rama, and the operation failed, the operation of apprehending people. Some people were penalized, but all of them now are free, including Colombians are living a peaceful life in Albania. And the brother of Edi Rama never was questioned. Next to this, if you check the data of Italian police, which based on an agreement checked Albanian territories for cannabis 2015, they found the country covered everywhere by cannabis.
Even
Vice Prime Minister, I denounced at that time. I denounced at that time. Why? What happened? The Secret Service of Albania drafted a report in which he says 124 top-level police officers and 180 altogether police officers were involved in cannabis plantation, having for every plant its tariff for them. The Vice Prime Minister of the then Vice Prime Minister of Albania, Arben Ahmetaj, which now is in exile in Switzerland, told Albanian and Italian media that he, in a repeated way, stood against cannabisation of Albania, whereas Mr. Rama opposed him, telling them that is money. It's money and nothing is wrong with that. I myself, I stood aloud and I told that's narco state, because all laws were violated in order to tolerate, to favorize cannabis plantations in overall the country.
You said something interesting last week. From your money, dear Albanians, Edi Rama paid intelligence, foreign consultants, and mafia. This blending of mafia and intelligence officers seems to me very dangerous. How do you comment that? Do you have some other informations about it?
Of course.
Let me ask.
Public information. There are public information.
Mr. President, you were president of the country, you were prime minister of this country. Why do you think Mr. Rama needed a consultant like Florian Koldea? What consultancy could Mr. Koldea offer him? Because I think we are not discussing political marketing, but other types of services.
May I explain you something?
Please.
Edi Rama contracted as advisor for security the former FBI director Liu. He contracted as advisor for security his team, but before that, he managed to corrupt the top counterintelligence head of FBI for New York, McGonigal.
Yes, I know.
He used McGonigal against opposition. He paid him with dirty money. And while he was in duty, he was engaged in private fighting against Sali Berisha and against opposition. That is, it happened the same with the head of financial Italian police, Il Generale Lisi, or I think Interpol Italia or something like. It was rewarded if McGonigal got $225,000 from a former Secret Service Albanian officer, General Lisi Il generale Lisi got 30 hectares land from the actual Secretary General of Prime Minister of Council of Ministers, Angel Agaci. Angel Agaci. And normal, Coldea was an asset to Edi Rama for his links. It is written by media with Sinaloa of Mexico. You see now, there are two Albanian brothers with the name Hysa, which are top-level people in Sinaloa cartel.
Have you said Mr. Kodia is the true link of Edi Rama to Sinaloa cartel?
Yes, this is what is written in the media. But what I know that last year, Angela Gatti, Secretary General, with a request of Edi Rama, signed the appointment of Coldea as the advisor to Edi Rama.
So, once again, what do you think was or is the true role of Coldea in Albania?
Underground world, that is organized crime world.
Okay, very interesting.
Edi Rama, it is a recent, very important data. Everybody knew an advisor of Rama which was called Ergus Agassi. Was a young playboy man. Everybody knew that he is representing Rama to different organized crime organizations and cartels. But 3 weeks ago, the former vice prime minister told that Agassi was appointed by Rama as a coordinator of between Edi Rama and different big mafia families and drug cartels in Albania. This is true. Rama coordinated all activities of these organizations, used them to violently take the votes of Albanian citizens and provided them big favors, declared them as strategic investors. What it means? It means providing them up to 500,000 meters square land, public or even private, for developing and constructing resorts. You, as journalists, I invite to investigate the affair of ECC, Ankrochat, Sky, ECC Sky and Ankrochat. What these are? These are coded telephones. These coded telephones, fortunately, one day were decoded first by French gendarmerie and later others for other partner services. What they show? They show that amongst 60,000 coded telephones used by European and worldwide
Wow.
organized clans and organizations, 15,000 belongs to Albanians. And
this is what I wanted to say. The American Drug Enforcement Administration, in their reports, DEA, are saying for years now, for a decade, that Albania and Albanian mafia is the most dangerous almost in the world, and the second mafia to control the drug traffic through Europe or America. So, on the other hand, Mr. Blinken is visiting Edi Rama, and they're having sweet conversations. On the other hand, there was a controversial decision made by Rama more than 10 years ago to allow the former terrorist organization, the People's Mujahideen from Iran, to settle in Albania in the form of immigrants. Did Albania need one more problem? Why did that happen, and what are the consequences for your country? So,
now,
okay.
You see,
But
Edi Rama is the most invested person of George Soros.
okay.
If you come to Albania, Albania could be called George Soros Republic in many aspects. But you have to know, George Soros is very, very influential in US foreign policy in Balkans. If you are interested to look to all Balkan initiatives taken out of Berlin process. Berlin process is an EU process, but next to Berlin process, which rally 6 Western Balkan countries, next to this process, there was Open Balkan, a project fully supported by Sergei Lavrov and George Soros. In every summit, please check, every summit of Open Balkan, Novi Sad, Skopje, Ohrid, Tirana, in every summit, there is a person next to prime ministers, and this is Alexis Soros. Once I asked, how could this happen? How could a man which represents not a nation, not an international organization, but just his own family, being so prominent in every Western Balkan summit, I was told that he is the only one who could talk with all of them. It's a garbage. All of them talk to each other. It's not at all. But these are people corrupted by George Soros and accept, in violation of every international law, a man who represents just himself and his father, and not a country, not a nation, not an institution.
I tried to look for Edi Rama's CV, and all I found is a string of cliches, which seems to be a beautiful story, but basically we know nothing about some parts of his life. For instance, a source of mine from a secret service in Romania revealed to me that Mr. Rama was also a student in Romania. an aspect that is not mentioned into his CV. And the same source told me that it is very possible that Rama was recruited by Romanian intelligence services. And that would explain also the connection with Koldea or former Prime Minister from Romania, Victor Ponta. What do you think about this?
Let me stress a few words about. First, Edi Rama is the son of the vice of Necmi Hoxha and Ramiz Alia, Kristaq Rama. Edi Rama, the father of Edi Rama, signed the hanging, to hang publicly in August 1188, a dissident poet, Havzinela. I recommend you to read about Havzinela.
Okay.
And Havzinela was hanged because he wrote that the wind of Helsinki will blow also in our country, and the human rights will come also to Albanians. He paid with a hanging. And there have been some other members in the presidium, chaired by Ramiz Alia, which didn't sign, whereas the father of Edi Rama signed next to Ramiz Alia for his hanging. This is the background of him. Now, I never heard that he was for studies in Romania. He had hidden that to Albania's public. What it is said the following: he was in Paris, and according to Fatos Nano, he was selling there stolen icons.
Oh.
Yes. Fatos Nano, who took him from Paris, told that I took him at the time he was selling stolen icons. Now, for your curiosity, when the regime destroyed churches and mosques in Albania, thousand beautiful religious objects and icons become subject to underground
Traffic.
trade and commerce and such. Edi Rama in Paris was selling and was arrested according to Georgi Themiou, which is a collectioner of old arts. Rama was arrested, and he also showed the number as a prisoner in France from the French police. He has, that is, a real obscure past. Now, this chapter, but together with him, there is another personage. He's now Minister of Interior, which is Taulant Bala. Taulant Bala studied in Romania. According to diplomatic sources, our consul in Romania sent dispatch to Ministry of Interior that Bala is dealing with human trafficking, prostitute trafficking. Bala himself is presented with Koldea. As a matter of fact, Bala is a personage which was found to have had 54 trips with Edmond Bego, a person condemned in Italy 18 years as top trafficant. That is, with these 54 trips with diplomatic passports, there are strong bases thinking that he transported with diplomatic suitcases cocaine or drugs. So it's a group. Rama himself traveled in 2 years. 141 trips with his taxi airplane, with his personal plane, taxi plane. There are a lot of rumors that he transported with the diplomatic valise in these trips narco euros and transported drugs. But in 2 years, 141 trips with private plane, I think is unique in the world.
You are the former ruler of this country, and you are a very well experienced politician. Do you think Romanian politicians should prosecute Mr. Koldea for high treason of the country, considering what we hear right now?
I think Mr. Koldea should be fully investigated about his links. Now you tell me that Rama probably was a confidant of Romanian intelligence service, that probably Rama must be treated as a traitor of Albania and must be prosecuted. I'm not aware what is really intimate relations as regard to the treason, but as regard to other affairs, it came out, the links with Sinaloa, some cocaine parties in Tirana from a strange woman, etc.